Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jason, the creator of I Am Legion for Dying Light 1 and 2, and I'll be diving into the base defenses in this video. So I'm sorry for the technical difficulties I had yesterday. I was not able to fully show off some of these new improvements, and so I want to show you guys kind of the content that I'm working on and this new base assault idea, along with some of the new content as well. So I went ahead and grabbed some of my top tier weapons. So I've got some of the new legendary weapons to show off and this idea of a base defense that I think you guys are going to enjoy. So appreciate any feedback here in the channel. I'm going to go ahead and start. So first we're going to go ahead and set up a little base outside here. So let's go and actually set up a couple of things before we kick off this fight. So let's go ahead and grab my storage kit.
Haven't seen my kids in months because of this ridiculous blockade of the center.
And there are still a few things that I'm working through with the actual guards and the towers and getting things set up. So it's not fully flushed out yet. They will sometimes get stuck, and there is some clipping still while I'm piecing all of these different new pieces of the Bazaar together. But those updates will be coming here shortly. So first and foremost, right now it's set up to where inside the base, as the night progresses, inside the base is no longer safe, and so you do have the possibility of zombies spawning inside the walls. And so the idea here is that as you continue to play and unlock new content with the mod, you can go in here and actually increase the defenses at the base to help prevent those zombies from taking over. So we're gonna go set up some basic defenses here.
Sometimes I wake up at night and forget the fall even happened. That's about the only time I smile. But then I see the guy.
And I'm still working on the NPCs here in the Bazaar, so a lot of them are still turned off to where they're very basic NPCs. They're not really working as actual fighters yet, but more content coming soon.
I'd rather not ask how she knows.
Okay.
Great. Now there's the pilgrim to deal with.
All right. That's a start, and kind of the idea behind the storyline here is that I'm hoping as we go that the PK have taken over all of the UV lights kind of in the city, and you're helping the survivors get those back. So as time progresses, you're continuing to find these UV lights and reinforce the base. I'm very hopeful that I'll have quests coming here shortly, and that will help some of that storyline along to where you're actually running and getting some of these items for the base. As you can see, I have actually quite a few lights that I'm putting out, but hopefully you can see very quickly what that will look like once you actually upgrade these bases and get this new environment kind of set up for fun
wanted
here.
to send a message. You don't discreetly kill a military leader.
Whoever killed him must have been very strong.
Or there was a group.
It couldn't have been a coincidence.
Ader must have been pleased.
Well, if he was, he didn't show it.
I also still have a visual glitch with a few pieces of vegetation that are out front. So on that new optional that you just got, there is the ability, or there is the chance that, not the chance, you will more than likely have a couple of messed up pieces of grass right here outside the main door. I am continuing to work on those and get those ironed out, but they'll look like that.
Like a waste of time.
Set this one up.
Man, I'm so thirsty.
And I like with the new setup, basically you can now quick enter the base. So if you want to be able to just quickly jump in, you can. You could currently do that, or you could previously do that, but it was a little janky trying to set that up. So we now have the new tower, so you see the bowman up top. Let's go grab some of the smaller ones here. Just like that. Perfect.
That's Sophie, though.
Okay, so these main entryways should now be pretty well defended, at least against the infected.
Have you milked the goats? Find something you like?
And the idea here is that I'm trying to set up the base to where you kind of have this parkour course, to where you don't actually damage yourself on the barbed wire. There are a couple of breaks in the fence kind of thing, but for the most part, you can now run all the way around the defenses here
She's not feeling very social these days.
and continue to defend the wall against invaders. So more content coming soon for actual base raids and wave spawners, but super excited with the progress I've been able to make so far. Still continue to look at optimizations and make sure everything is running well. The only downside of this that I've seen so far is that there is an issue with the LOD system where it's not able to fully get all the new changes, and because I've had to break the bake, so to speak, some of these towers do disappear as you get further away, and so I am having to consider that when looking at these new locations and these changes. So we'll get a couple of wall defenses going here. That didn't mess me up too bad.
Damn it. Forgot to bring my flask.
Yeah. Something like that. Okay, so let's go ahead and see if we can get some base interactions going here. So first we're going to get some survivors out here. I'm still working on the actual guard system. The problem that I'm running into is kind of keeping them at their location and actually fighting. They did make guards in concept, but they basically set them up to where they're not really supposed to like actually fire down on the NPCs.
First tournament in 3 years.
So they'll join the world. They just don't actually, fight. And obviously for this, that's a bit of a problem. So we'll get some survivors here to defend the base.
This is just too much.
Okay.
Just because you got holes in your shoes doesn't mean you're poor. If you got no one to lean on, that's when you know you hit rock bottom.
And then let's go ahead and get some enemies spawned here. Let's start with packs of wolves at the gates. So the wolves do not currently have a bowman class. I was working on it. I haven't finished it out yet. So basically, once these guys spawn, they're going to use rocks to kind of threaten, but they don't currently have grenades. And so I'm continuing to work on that to update that a little bit. So then if we open the gate here, let's see what happens.
Better things to do than look for you, fucker. You sure you gonna regret it? I'm really getting pissed off now.
So will they actually come through the door? They should.
Eat this! Take that! Prepare yourself! Guys, over here! Quick! You're so clever. Bring it! If that's what you really want.
See our bowmen are starting to engage here.
You're gonna be sorry.
See, the sad thing about these crossbows, not the sad thing, but basically if I wanted to wipe out this army, I'm basically with this high tier weapon trying to give them the benefit of the doubt, but...
Let's put this dog down.
All right, let's try to shift the playing field here. So there's all sorts of different scenarios you could run, trying to get the humans at the gates and trying to have them actually come in. I'm still starting to work on this idea of how there can be weaknesses in the base, actual locations where they could come in. But let's actually switch over to our actual virals here are infected and see how this goes. So let's also go ahead and summon a companion. So we'll go ahead and actually let me grab some of the bowman companions and see if they are able to fire down from the walls here. So currently our bowman companions are, let's get a loyal wolf. Actually just picked one of those up, and then let's get Spike and Lon. Let's see. All right.
So bored.
So let's go ahead and get them in here. I always do that. I always get the wrong one there. So here's Spike. And then we'll get a loyal wolf here. And I don't think I've actually ever tested bringing them inside the base. So I guess we'll find out whether or not. And I've never tried to see if they could actually get this new nav mesh, but it looks like they're not able to see the nav mesh here. Now, I wonder if I spawn them up on the wall. So let's get like a loyal wolf up on the wall here. So if he spawns on the wall, is he able to get this new...
I hate being kept waiting like this.
Okay, so that's the issue, is that the nav mesh, and that would explain why some of these guys are kind of wiggling around over here instead of moving, is that because of the nav mesh, they're not able to climb up on these new objects. So I'm gonna have to figure out a way to kind of bake the nav mesh. So for now, we won't be able to have the companions up here, which is sad. I was really hoping to have them up here, but once I set up the guards, you should at least be able to set up the guards to where they can fire down from this location. And that being said, let me see if I've got the guard available here. I think I turned, well, actually, one last check here. I think they're, last time I checked, they were having some issues with, yeah, so we maxed out on everything here.
Those PKs better stay out of it.
Sorry for the more boring side of this here. Let me go ahead and get these things.
My face.
Let's go ahead and grab the guard here. And
Better head back.
let's see how this works. It might actually be to our advantage that they can't move, because with the nav mesh like that.
Hey, I heard Carl talking about water restrictions last night. Know anything about
I mean, these guys are going to get picked off immediately as soon as we get some volatiles out
so
here, but
ransacked over the past 15
let's
years.
just kind of see if we
Belongings got shuffled all over the place.
add them to the wall here, what happens.
Using infected livers for medicine. Disgusting.
Alright, well it kind of does keep them in place, so I mean I guess that's
Right now.
a bonus here, is that they're kind of stuck. So let's go ahead and spawn in some zombies and see how that does.
I think I'm gonna sneeze.
A little help here. Me and my friends will kick your ass.
And it's still kind of that distance activation with the NPCs here, so their AI doesn't really activate unless you get within a certain distance, which I hate. But once you activate them, they should kind of start to snap into gear. So let's see if we can get these guys something to shoot at here.
Goats?
And then let's get these guys outside the base.
I want to introduce you to some drinking buddies.
So once it's outside the cell, it looks like they've kind of ceased firing. So I wonder if this is also one of those cell activation kind of things here. No? There we go. It's still like, I think it's just kind of a distance issue. And so I'll continue to try to look at that code and see if we can get these guys firing over the distance here.
So it's like that, eh?
No. Oh no. No! And that is the risk of getting a flamethrower. Oh no. Alright, well, let's see if I can
You ain't shit, that's for sure.
walk away for a second. Oh god.
Here it comes.
Actually, maybe if I die, it's going to take me on the inside. So yeah, definitely one of the issues with having a flamethrower and trying to defend the walls. So learn from my example, people. Let's see if we... And I'm still looking at a way that you can kind of reset that aggression, potentially. Everything respawn. Crap. Well, let's see. If I go back inside, let's see how bad this is.
I thought farming would be less complicated.
Alright. And then maybe we'll just run inside really quick and sleep and see if that helps solve
When
for
one
the
of us
cell.
is killed, they barely notice. But when the commander is killed, they turn the place upside down.
You. Got water for sale? I'll pay half a crystal per gallon.
So everything should be good to go. Let's go ahead and start.
You're doing fine, believe me.
So we did set out those UV flares, or those UV lights, and so, looks like they're still spawning inside here. I'm still working on that to see if we can get that to where it's not able to, by disabling a lot of the code that's built in. Again, they've kind of written this blanket code that you know, makes this area disabled, and as I'm bringing it back online, it's continuing to add, you know, more things. But the hope is here in the future that this will actually get set up to events, to where we can actually have base raids and that kind of thing without it being a bug, but rather something that's interesting.
Fucking PKs.
So let's go ahead and...
They'll get what they deserve.
So I've got things turned on to where we have the chance of spawning all sorts of nasty stuff here when a chase starts. So let's go ahead and begin this chase and just kind of see how this
you need to be
goes.
taught a lesson.
Like I said, I don't think these guards are going to last very long here once the AI actually starts to
Look who's
detect
here.
them.
Welcome to the Bazaar, Pilgrim.
Everyone know where the closest safe zone is?
Let's grab a couple of our accelerants here. Let's go ahead and switch to the bow here. Let's keep this chase going. And I have set up the base here to where the idea is that if you want to be able to quickly get back into the base, you can do so. You have to just kind of be clever about it. And I'm continuing to look for fun ways that we can kind of bring in the infected to where they're able to actually stand a better chance against you here. Keep the chase going here. Looks like we got some banshees out here.
I could go for a pumpkin.
See how they're doing over on
You
this
better
side.
be scared of me.
Let's turn things up a little bit here. Let's use the fuel bomb instead.
Man, I'm thirsty.
No GRE anomalies yet, but that's the great thing is that with the config, if you want to turn those on, starting a chase can now actually bring in quite a few different hordes, and so you feel free to use the config to kind of set that up to your heart's desire if you want to defend the base from all sorts of different enemies, and also great for legend levels if you guys want to start earning some points at night. Ah. Well, thanks, guys. This was just a quick window into some of the new update. Like a lot of the descriptions say, over 100 new ranged weapons in there. I've updated the flamethrowers as well with this new mass of crossbows and bows and ranged weapons. I hope you guys have a blast tearing up the city. Let me know how it goes with the new Bazaar updates. So let me run through and show you guys really quick. We have lots of new traders going in here and adding lots of new content here so that you can get new items very quickly just by going and utilizing the Bazaar, and also trying to tie a lot of this trading into more realisms, actually adding like doctors and that kind of thing for going and getting different resources that you may need. And also one of the things I've added is the idea that you can now loot more items in the world. So again, this is currently, because of the event, it's only working in offline mode, but there are more things actually added to the Bazaar here that you can search as well. And so just keep an eye out as you're searching the world. There should be more abilities to loot that are more realistic, that if you actually want to search through the trash, if you actually want to go find specific items, that should be a little bit more realistic now around the world. I'm still continuing to find the best ways to bring it into the world without causing optimization issues and baking issues. So please let me know how that's going and your thoughts and feedback, and I look forward to hearing your guys' feedback here soon, and stay tuned for more updates. All right, thanks everyone. Thanks for watching, and happy gaming.